Some breaking inputs coming in. This is with regards to the hijacking of the Jaffar Express. In fact, we're getting in some latest visuals coming in of the BLA. These are visuals of the attack, the moment the seizure of the Jaffar Express by the Baloch Liberation Army that took place. That entire footage, in fact, as you can see, first an explosion was carried out by the BLA. Remember, the terrain of this entire province in Balochistan is extremely rocky, and that is perhaps one massive challenge for the entire Pakistan army and the military, why it could not reach in time to ensure a safe release of the hostages. But so far, what we can tell you is that several hostages, in fact 104, have been rescued. But visuals coming in of the Jaffar Express, as you can see, it was halted over there. It was halted close to a tunnel, as we are also learning, in that entire Bolan district of Balochistan. Remember, this was a train which was heading towards Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and this is the latest footage which we have managed to access over there. Latest visuals coming in of how that entire hijacking of the Baloch Express actually took place. Remember, 30 Pakistan security personnel have been killed by the Baloch army, as far as what we can tell you right now. Let's quickly bring in Siddhant on that note. Siddhant, take us through these visuals. Finally, we have some access to the visuals, the moment when that entire hijacking took place.
Well, that's right, Akanksha. In fact, we have accessed this visual, and we could see a huge blast taking place in a moving train, Akanksha. And it is being claimed that this visual is of that particular moment when this train was taken over by BLA rebel forces. And in fact, we could see in the video that there was a huge blast which took place in a moving train. And in fact, there are lot of people surrounding this train on both sides of the track. They look like Baloch rebels. Some of them also look like hostages. In fact, we are still awaiting for more details about this video. But this is the first time we are putting this video out for our viewers, where we could see a blast first taking place in a moving train, and then we could see hundreds of people on both sides of the track, and the train is in the middle. So it looks like that these are the Baloch rebels, and this video is of the time when this train was taken over by Baloch rebels. It's been more than 24 hours, Akanksha. Pakistan couldn't find a solution to this national security problem. 80 of them have been released by the rebel forces, children and women. 214 are still in their custody. They are calling it a war. They want a prisoner swap deal with Pakistani government. They want all the activists, national activists, their writers, those who have been picked by the army, to be released in exchange for 214 hostages.
So that is very interesting that you mentioned that, because that's exactly what I was about to ask you. Take us through what is the latest statement coming in from the BLA, given that they have now asked for the immediate release of all those Baloch political prisoners or even activists, and what does it now speak of the army's strength in itself, which has now brought the entire Pak military to its knees? Because remember, in these Pakistani security personnel, you not only have the ISI, you also have certain ATF members.
Well, that's right, Akanksha. And in fact, this is not just a national security crisis, Akanksha, but it's an embarrassment to the Pakistani army. And here in India, we were also reporting that how in the Baloch province there is disturbance, and the people are angry about what the army generals of Pakistan are doing with the entire region by selling out the entire region to China. The CPEC corridor is passing through that region, but none of the Balochis are the beneficiary of that. So there's a lot of resentment, there is a lot of anger within the people, and it was brewing up.
Siddhant, stay with me, because I'm also joined in by Mehran Mari, who's a Baloch activist, joining us on the phone line with more inputs. Mehran, first of all, thank you for joining in. Also, can you share information regarding the status of this hijack? Is this now also going to bring Pakistan government and primarily the army to the negotiating table, given that you've almost brought the Pakistan army to its knees. We have those visuals which are speaking for themselves. This is a major security breach for the Pakistanis.
Absolutely right. It is a major embarrassment for an army that claims to be the best in the world. And I think the Baloch have very clearly stated that the military personnel in their possession are POWs, prisoners of war. They will be treated according to the Geneva Conventions, and whatever proposals or demands they put forward, I'm not privy to that. Probably we have to wait and see what their demands are going to be.
When you're saying what their demands are going to be, but do you think that the kind of brute force that we have seen come in from the Pak army, which has led to these forced disappearances, which has also led to several political activists now in the custody of the Pak army, is it finally going to lead to their release?
It's not only brute force, it's the arrogance, ignorance, and the negligence of the Pakistani establishment and Islamabad towards Balochistan, which has resulted in this situation. In the last few months, the enforced disappearances of 40, 50 youths from universities and cities around Pakistan have taken place. It's a result of a multitude of things. Primarily, it's the fault of the Pakistani establishment and Islamabad. They have to wake up and heed the calls that the Baloch are giving them. And I think they said the writing's on the wall. As you can see, the Baloch will no longer tolerate this subjugation and the genocide by the Pakistani army.
In August of 2024, Baloch rebels blew up a portion of a track in Balochistan, and that time over 70 people had been killed, many of them were unarmed civilians. And now this attack, as far as the Jaffar Express being hijacked is concerned, do you think these are now moments which are defining as a moment of reckoning for the entire BLA, which clearly in the last 1 year has grown in strength?
Yes, I think the Baloch nation is behind the Baloch fighters. The Baloch fighters are the vanguard of the Baloch nation. The Baloch nation has suffered enough at the hands of the Pakistani establishment and the military over 75 years of occupation. And nobody's come to our rescue. The whole world has turned a blind eye, and major powers, unfortunately, have benefited, have been partners in the crimes against humanity in Balochistan, being partners with the Punjabi establishment of Pakistan. So now Baloch have taken control of their own fate.
When you're saying that the Balochs have now taken control in their own hands, is this also an indication that the Pak army itself has been underestimating the capability and the fighting capability of the army itself, the entire BLA, which is why perhaps such an incident has finally taken? Why have they been such a failure when it comes to addressing the Baloch insurgency in Pakistan?
The Napak army of Pakistan has underestimated and undermined the Baloch nation from the beginning. And even diplomatic forums have been closed for us. Somebody like myself, who represented Balochistan in the international forums, I've been barred from many places on behest of the Pakistani establishment. And people like the protesters in Balochistan.
Mehran, my last question to you is, how do you respond to allegations coming in that you are jeopardizing Pakistan's relations, whether it is with countries like Iran or even China, when you are attacking the Chinese that are involved with the CPEC?
Oh, absolutely. We intend to jeopardize their relationship with their warring partners against the Baloch. That's the intention. We don't want them to be very cozy and comfortable with China and other culprits who want to exploit Balochistan's resources and continue the subjugation of Baloch nation by Pakistan.
The last hour. Anything can happen between the bells. But what happens during the last hour is what matters the most. The biggest market swings. A close-up look at what's driving them and how the investors are reacting. Watch the most seasoned market mavens guide you through the most important hour of the trading day. NSE Closing Bell. At these times, only on CNBC TV 18 and CNBCTV18.com.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV 18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV 18 on all the social media platforms.